How's it going, everybody? My name's John. I work for Revolution Brewing. I'm here with Andrew, who is our Director of Marketing, as well as Marty Scott. He's our barrel program lead, but he has been with Rev for, 9+ years now, Marty?
Yeah, they're about.
So he knows the stories behind all these beers that you guys have graciously come and picked up a whole bunch of. Figure we would start it off by chatting about Fifth City a little bit. If you come to the tap room back when that's allowed again, and you see a bunch of people there who should still probably be working on a Friday afternoon, it's likely employees, and there's like a 50 to 60% chance that they've got Fifth City going. So Marty, I know you were around for this before I was, but this originally started as a restaurant collab beer, right?
No. As a matter of fact, the first time we produced Fifth City, it was produced at the Kedzie location. What's up, everybody, by the way? I'm Marty Scott. Fifth City was first produced at Kedzie. It was a draft-only batch that we made for Big Star here in Chicago. And Jim Seaback, our brewmaster, and myself sat down and we wanted to make a beer for an 85-degree day on a patio with fish tacos and a margarita. What beer did we want to have next to that? So before it was called Fifth City, we just knew we were going to make a really hoppy and expressive, clean American Pale Ale. So this one has about 45 IBUs. It's kind of middle of the road as far as bitterness is concerned for an American Pale Ale. It's exceptionally hoppy, though, without being overly bitter. It's all about how we go about using the hops. There are a lot of California and Pacific Northwest derived American hops here, a lot of grapefruit and floral aroma, but without a ton of bitterness. The grain bill or the grist bill is pretty light with this beer, so it's very easy drinking, very light on the palate. Got a nice carbonation to it. Supremely hoppy in the flavor and aroma, but the hop bitterness is still pretty restrained.
Fun fact, it has let me share my screen here. We recently redesigned all these beers. They did kind of their own thing before this. And what we should have done was figured out how to use
Zoom?
the screen. Yeah, right. All right, Marty, keep talking. I'll figure this out.
Yeah, so really Fifth City is, we made it just to be a one-time thing. It was a very expensive beer to make for being a 5.5% American Pale Ale. After yeast, which we propagate our own in-house, for the ingredients that you purchase, typically hops are going to be the most expensive ingredient that we use, and we use so much in this pale ale. Our India Pale Ale, Anti-Hero, our flagship, is almost twice as bitter as this beer, but is half as hoppy. We use more hops in our pale ale with half the bitterness than we do in our India Pale Ale, by means of when and how we go about using the hops. So when we engineered this beer, it was meant to be a really satisfying sidekick to tacos and a margarita for the summertime. But we loved it so much, and we pretty much stopped drinking the old pale ale that we were producing at that time, and switched over to this one. It was a much more expensive beer to produce, but we just thought it was such a tasty and unique beer in Chicago that it became a year-round just a few months later.
Great. Yeah, and this one has the Statue of the Republic in Jackson Park. I don't know how many of y'all have gone to see it, but this is one of the coolest pieces of Chicago landmarks around. It's a gilded reproduction of the original 1890 World's Fair statue that burned down with the rest of it. This has been kind of our mascot for this beer since before it even had a can. So slightly different angle, but I think it was pretty cool. And by the way, feel free if anyone has any beer questions. We're used to talking about this stuff all day, so we kind of get a little like industry jargony sometimes. If you got any questions about the beers or whatever, just pop them in the chat. Also, thank you for whoever said I have a nice jacket. Means a lot. One thing I remember about this beer, our ex-head of marketing loved it so much. Our ex-director of activations, she used to call this beer Fish Kitty because it sounds like Fish City, and when you say a thing enough times, it stops sounding like English. And right before she left to go work for a new brewery in Colorado, she actually got a tattoo, a really nice tattoo of a luminous fish with a cat head on it. That's how much people love this beer around Revolution. Here's a question from Arnim. Marty, do you aerate fine beer when you taste like you do fine wine?
Not on purpose. No. I mean, if it happens, and every beer style is different. I saw James, you're drinking a D-Star or a Cafe Deeth. Is that correct?
Yeah, drinking the original. Yeah, I mean, this one I'm kind of a little bit warmer.
Yeah, so that one would be a little bit warmer, smaller tastes. You let it hit different parts of your mouth than when you're just, clanging down a pale ale or a pilsner. And you can kind of slurp or introduce in your mouth if you want to, using like pouring through an aerator. I've never really tried it, though. It being carbonated, it would probably foam up and expend all the CO2, and we want that to stay in the beer. So what I would recommend doing is, for some of those beers, if you want to open them up and let them warm up, you can just take it out of your cooler a little bit earlier. You can also crack open the top and let it sit for a couple of minutes before you pour it, or you can pour it and then let it sit. And both of these things will reduce the CO2 content of the beer, kind of softening up the mouthfeel and opening up, as well as warming up the beer, which will further volatilize other compounds that are kind of locked in, just like a big bold red that you would need to aerate to really open up. Some of these bigger style beers can benefit from that as well, but we use different techniques to achieve that because it is a little bit more dynamic a liquid just with its gas content.
Arnim, you may have seen Marty swirl his glass a little bit when he first poured it. And part of what you're doing there is you're breaking that CO2 out of suspension and building some head up on that beer. That gas will kind of release some of the aromas on the beer. So when you are kind of evaluating the beer up front, right before you taste it, you want to kind of get that hop profile or get the aroma of it. Kind of giving it a swirl like that and smelling it, kind of building that head up will help do that.
Yeah, I mean, and that's one reason that you don't want your beer served in like an ice cold mug. You don't want it poured super slow so that it's like right to the top and there's no foam. A lot of like the foam and everything is maybe even half the experience of your beer and is your flavor. And the colder the beer is, the less it sort of opens up, the less you perceive about it, except for, it's cold. That's why a lot of cheap beer, they tell you to drink super ice cold. But Andrew, Marty, what do you say? Should we hand this over to Maggie and do the first set of Tifo displays?
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, go ahead, Maggie.
Hi, everyone. I'm Maggie. I am the dictator for life of Chicago Local 134. And most of you are familiar with Chicago Local 134, but just to give you an overview, if you're not, we are a supporters group for the Chicago Red Stars. We build a community of supporters around the Red Stars. And we're super excited to have you all here today. Obviously, it's a tough day to not be out at the stadium. Even though the weather is bad, we could have gotten a lot of brownie points, like pride from this, from bearing the weather today. And so we're missing out on that. But I want to throw to our partner bars. I'm eating some food from AJ Hudson's right now. I know Alyssa Naeher ordered some AJ Hudson's this morning, so everyone should put in their orders there. And there's a pinned tweet on Local 134's Twitter account that will lead you to the virtual tip jars for all three partner bars: AJ Hudson's, Reggie's, Tip Your Driver on the Reggie's bus, and our public house in Rogers Park. So everybody go give a little love to those bars. I know they're all hurting right now. So So let's help them out. But yeah, without further ado, let's move on to the at-home Tifo competition. I'm so excited at all. We got a little sneak peek at all the entries, and they're all very good. There are 3 judges in the chat today. I'll be judging. And then from the Chicago Red Stars, we have Jules. Do you want to ID yourself, Jules?
My name's Julie, and I am the graphic designer for the Chicago Red Stars, so I'm pretty qualified for this. Everybody's entries.
Perfect. And then from Revolution, we have Andrew Osterman.
Hey everybody, glad you're here. Super excited to see all the tifos. This is so cool, so cool. The weather sucks, but nothing would have been being out drinking and hanging out, but this is a pretty close second.
Absolutely. So we have a rubric that I'll just run through real quick to familiarize everyone with how we're judging today. So the first category is effort. Does it seem like this person put their blood, sweat, and tears into this project? Did they neglect their inbox to work from home on this instead? So the first category is effort. Second category, the at-home factor. Does the Tifo incorporate non-traditional at-home materials that you'd only find in a pandemic Tifo? Creativity is definitely a factor there. Chicago-ness. How Chicago is this Tifo? Does it reference one of the following things or one or more of the following things? The Chicago Red Stars, a specific Red Stars player, the city of Chicago, local culture, or everyone's favorite, Chicago Local 134. Last category is aesthetics. Is this Tifo fine as hell? Does it look good or does it look too good? So each of those categories have a scale of 1 to 10. The max possible score is 40. Is everyone ready to go? All right, let's do it. Our first entry is from Melissa and Charlotte. Why don't you take us away?
All right. So we have our Tifo over here. It was made on wrapping paper, collaged with the newspaper. This is Chicago sometimes when the Red Stars won the semifinal, going up to the final. Specifically, there's like a few different photos of that from this. We used some union pictures from that newspaper as well. We also used some photos that we took at tailgates, well as like some other random magazines, including some really good bylines like "Don't Waste Good Crisis," "The Unsung Art of Plumbing," all excellent. And you can find some members of Local 134, like Angela sending a hot tweet, or Elias down here, Maggie taking a Malort shot. And then the beer can was inspired by Rev Brew, and was what we would want to see on one of their beers. And it's made with 100% MKOT, one solid roster, contains termination, grit, and time legals. We got.
Gorgeous. Thank you. I'm gonna have a lot. I'm giving high scores so far. So I'm gonna need to be a little more serious about my judging, but I'm just really impressed by all of these entries. So thank you, Melissa and Charlotte.
And just so everybody knows, we're gonna talk about a beer, and then we're gonna do I think 4 tifos, and then we'll go back, talk about some beer, and then we'll do some more. So it's gonna be spread out a little bit so that we're not boring anybody with any one thing. Maggie, you're on mute.
Thank you. We have 3 rounds of Tifo, so this is round 1 of 3. Lauren Loss, you're up.
Hello, everyone. I think I'm going to be a little bit DQ'd because I'm using suburban architecture for part of this, not Chicago. But this is because the season is so far been the epitome of #ScamGang. This is just a little Oh, I can't see my own screen. Someone give me a thumbs up when you can see it. Okay. This is for my friends, homies, and colleagues out there. Subscribe to Southside Trap on Patreon. Forgot to say that was made with a computer cord, so very, very pandemic chic.
Excellent. Got a shout out to Southside Trap. I'm guessing that Claire and Sandra are both in the meeting right now, and we're going to be hearing from them a little later. But if you don't subscribe to Southside Trap, why are you here? Ooh, Chicago-ness. Might have to downgrade on that.
All right, who do we got up next, Maggie?
We have got Amanda Mead and Mal Weber.
Hey guys, so we'll kind of give you an outer view here. This is Chicago Local 134 merch through the years. So features like our scarf or shirt of the year for each year starting in 2014. I've got an AJ Hudson's pen because that's about all we had then. Starting with 7 members. And now we're up to 196. So from when we made it at 195, it's already outdated. Amanda will show you kind of an overview.
Just a quick scan down memory lane for you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Very at home. So 2020 shows our nice new sponsors with Rev Brewing and our new shirts. I've got also.
You can count on the engineer to go for a data-driven approach. Am I unmuted? Yes, I'm unmuted. Also, if anyone, we're so close to 200 members right now. If anyone wants to become the 200th member, chicagolocal134.net/membership, $20.
All right, who's next up?
Next, we have Tara Donnelly.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I think I'm off mute. Can't see myself, though. Do you guys see me? Cool. Okay. I can't see myself, so just talk me through it.
You're good. You're good.
Okay.
Maybe a little closer.
Closer. So I was going to do some painting, but it started to stress me out, so I decided not to do that because I don't need any extra stress right now. And one thing that helped me a lot in the beginning was coloring, which I've never done before, except when I was little. But I started doing the coloring pages from the Red Stars, and it was just awesome. So I incorporated that. And these are coloring book letters that I colored in the red in them. And this is the chant, the words to the chant, and that's it. My coloring Tifo.
Very nice. We will give the judges a chance to kind of come together on the first four. Marty, you ready to talk about Pilsner? I know you don't usually like talking about Pilsner, but this might be the time. There it is. Marty.
Sorry.
Nah, you're good.
Yep.
So yes, please guide these fine fans through, what was it? Our greatest beverage, the brewer's most consumed beverage, certainly.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I was so excited to open this up and talk about it, I forgot to take myself off mute. So employee-wide, I would say Fifth City is probably the most consumed beer by our employees after work. If you were to just take a snapshot of the brewing team, our wort producers, our cellarmen, we drink more pills than any other beers put together. We'll do, north of 60 or 70 unique beers every year. And I would say that 7 or 8 out of 10 of all the beers we drink is this Pilsner. So enough about that. We just like it. It is super dry. There's not a lot of sugar left over from the fermentation. So the malt kind of takes a back seat. And Pilsner being a lager rather than an ale, we're really going to be focusing on the raw materials. So German hops, German water, German yeast, German barley to make this German Pilsner. It's like Fist City. It's kind of like middle of the road for bitterness, 45 IBUs, 5.5% ABV. Going back to it being very dry, that means there's not a whole lot of sweetness left over. So it's not necessarily thin, or not exactly thin, but very easy to drink. Super
crisp.
Fizzy. Yeah, crisp, light, easy going, but still full of flavor. And if you like a good German lager, this is kind of a stripped down Americanized version. It's very approachable, not very fussy. You can pour it into a fancy glass or you can drink it straight out of the can. It is dry hopped, like that Fist City, but not nearly as aggressive. This is about 0.5 pound per barrel of hoppiness for the aromatic, whereas the Pils or the Fist City is about 2 pounds per barrel. So about a quarter of the hops going into this, and they're all German. So less fruit, more kind of grass and earth and herbal spiciness. Enough about talking about it. Let's have a taste.
Just want everyone to know I'm going with the local 134 cup.
Oh, nice.
Thank you, Maggie.
So yeah, I like that Fist City. Nice golden color, fizzy.
Pils?
What's that?
Pils, not Fist City.
Oh yeah, sorry. I said well, like the Fist City, nice and pale.
This is when other brewers or beer industry people come to visit Revolution. They usually have to hit their meeting and get out, or else Marty and Jim and the rest of the brewers make them stay and drink about 8 or 9 Pilsners.
Yeah, it's fun. That's hospitality in the brewing industry. So yeah, this being a lager is going to be much less about the fermentation. Ales can be very fruity or very spicy. It's usually about 50-50 between the raw materials in the recipe and the fermentation profile. For an ale, lagers are much more heavily going to favor the raw materials. It's much cleaner fermentation, so it's less flavor and aroma active from the fermentation process. So we're really going to lean on the raw materials. That's why these beers are often described as being very clean, because it's all about those raw materials. So that's why it's incredibly important that we use all German hops, all German yeast, all German barley. We even Germanify our water chemistry so that this beer tastes the same here as if you were to brew it in Bavaria.
Yeah, we speak German to it, and it's very soothing to the water. I want to get everyone back to Tifo, but before we do, for just a hot second, I want to show everybody what we were doing with the new can design for this one. Rev started in Logan Square. We are still split between Logan Square and Avondale, and whereas the last Rev Pils can had Made in the Mud, the Frank Lloyd Wright sculptures, we switched to the Illinois Centennial Monument, designed by Evelyn Beatrice Longman. If you recognize that name from Longman and Eagle, it's also named after her. Very cool beer. This is, I don't know, man. If our brewers drink more of this than anything else combined, I feel like that's enough of an endorsement. Maggie, if you want to get the next round of Tifo started.
Yeah, let's do it. Where were we? Okay, we're actually at the video Tifo from Brandon Lane, aka the Red Stars Sommelier and founder of the Red Stars Finer Things Club.
All right, I got this one.
sing with local 134. Lose our minds at Kealia's first score. How long must we wait?
John, turn the volume back up.
Someday we will return, but for now stay inside. Drink champagne with supernova in our minds. Someday we will return, but for now we'll stay inside. Drink champagne with supernova. Champagne with supernova in our minds.
That didn't really work, but there's the link in the chat if anybody wants it.
Oh, I think everybody wants it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Brendan, will you tweet it and I'll share it right now?
Yeah.
That was awesome, by the way. Well done.
Yeah. We're gonna need that recipe. We're gonna need that video or that song adapted when we finally actually can sing together again. And for those of you asking in the chat, you are definitely allowed to cry. Please, everyone, if you need to cry, just cry.
Yeah, this is baseball. There's crying here.
I want to point out, since everybody else had a chance to tell theirs, if you look closely, I guess you'll have to, at the brand of the champagne on the poster. It is Local 134 champagne. And this was all made on an old work presentation, which is being covered up by Supernova. So.
Gorgeous.
How's the drink?
It was okay. It's not that great.
At least you're honest. Points for honesty.
It's based on a French 75, if anybody's familiar with that.
Delicious.
I personally enjoyed when you drank it and then we're like, oh, it's not like terrible at the end. That was my favorite touch in the video. All right, who do we got up next?
Up next, we've got Lindsay and Una.
Okay, first of all, I can't believe I have to follow that. Brandon, that was art. Everyone's done such a fantastic job. This has been really lovely. You're all amazing. So the route Una and I took was, for lack of a better term, third grade diorama. It's a celebration of creativity and supporters culture in Chicago through the years. So it's a montage of tifos. There's also a Harlem End in the back, and the sky is a ray gun bag. So this is a Revolution box and a ray gun bag. So we incorporated two Local 134 partners. And then the drums are made from spice caps, and just a showcase of some of the creativity and ingenuity of our amazing community. I miss you guys, and today has been really great so far. So thanks to everybody for putting it on.
One follow-up, our amazing community would like you to address the Baby Yoda.
So the Baby Yoda, that is, or the child, I guess. I've watched 2 episodes of The Mandalorian, so that was the work of, I want to say, that was Anna. That was another Local 134 member who created a couple of different Baby Yoda Tifo designs.
Actually, it was me, Ashleigh.
Ashley, I'm so sorry. Yes, it was Ashley.
Anna commissioned it. She wanted a Baby Yoda Tifo, and so that's what I made up for her.
As usual, Anna's the money.
Yeah.
Wait, Lindsay, I don't think I got a good view of the drums. Can you tilt the camera so I can see those little guys?
Okay. Is this?
Oh, there it is. Oh, there it is. Yep.
Yeah. Una came back and is helping.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I feel like that's a key factor here. So.
Yeah. Yeah, and were you able to see? We also had a couple of banners in the back. We had a Red Line banner and an Air Nation banner that are a bit obscured by everything else, but they're there.
Shout out to the Lori Kolupny Tifo too. Oh, Captain, my captain. That's some old school stuff. Awesome.
All right, who's up next?
Next, we have Morgan Bryan and Danielle Colaprico.
Okay, we're back. We're back off mute. So we used an old shower curtain that we had in the house. Shout out Arnim. So here it is. Grace, can you help, please?
What do you want me to do?
Pull up the screen a little.
Like that?
Okay, so we started off with the front office. We put everyone's last name, the coaching staff, all the players, all of our sponsors, and then of course in the middle, Chicago Local 134. And then in the middle, MKOT, my kind of town. Closer.
Yeah, this is honestly some professional level Tifo.
Yeah, that one can actually fly at the games.
Yeah, we were thinking that you guys could use it.
Yeah.
If you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need our shower curtain anymore.
Aren't it okay if we take it?
Yeah.
All right. Well, next game you'll see that flying.
It has hooks at the top as well, so you can be creative.
That's actually genius. We should actually maybe buy some shower curtains as sort of a side note there. All right. Excellent work. Next we have Ashleigh.
Hey, my Tifo, I wanted something to cheer us up during this pandemic. And for anyone who is working, can't wear their Red Stars gear at their job, or just want some cheerfulness when they go to the grocery store, here is my Tifo. And it says, you know, LFG CRS on the side. So
very
yeah,
tight.
I sewed the letters into it, and there's a little bit of glue, so I got a teensy bit of high. So teensy bit, ladylike high. So that's mine. Thank you.
Nothing says public health like a ladylike high. You know. Yeah. Love the variety of materials being used here.
Yeah, we'd name a beer Lady Like High if it wasn't explicitly forbidden, you know, under federal regulations. It's just a good phrase. It's a good term. Marty, you ready to talk everyone's new favorite Cross of Gold?
Oh, yeah.
Go write your letter to the TTB. Maybe they'll let you do it.
Someone knows his beer industry.
So Cross of Gold was one of the first beers we ever produced as a company. We actually produced it before we were a real company. This is one of the handful of beers that were produced on Josh Deeth's homebrewing kit. Josh Deeth is our owner, chairman of the party, Josh Deeth. This and other beers before we opened the brew pub in Logan Square in February 2010. Produced a couple beers. Cross of Gold was one of them. English Style Summer Ale. It's a double gold medal winner, one at GABF, Great American Beer Festival, and one at the World Cup in 2012. English style summer ale, super unfussy, got a little bit of American Chinook hops in a dry hop here, a little bit of red wheat. This is an ale, not a lager. Very light and refreshing, but we're starting to get into some of the bigger craft beer flavors that we'll see in your pale ales, IPAs, and stuff like that. Not a challenging beer by any stretch. But certainly a little bit more flavorful and malt forward than some of the other beers we've been talking about so far this morning.
Yeah, and this is actually the best-selling beer at our pub because since we have a general with a hop head for a mascot, people will come in and people's parents will come in and say, "What do you have that's not hoppy?" So we sell through a ton of this Cross of Gold. It's also just for those of you, like World Beer Cup and Great American Beer Festival are the two biggest beer judging festivals, for American brewers. So basically what Marty's saying is this thing has the EGOT of beer. You like it, Marty. I see you.
Yeah, I like it.
So if you've noticed on all three of these, there's the little City Series logo down in the corner, classic styles for any session. The little symbol in the middle is the Chicago municipal device. You can see it around the city on a lot of different like bridges or different parts of the infrastructure. What it is it's the confluence of the Chicago River. So the bottom one's the Chicago River coming out of Lake Michigan, and then the South Branch and the North Branch. So a little nod to this there. And then if you look on your cans, if you got some, so proudly brewed only in Chicago. That's one of the things that we're really, really proud of. And then using pure Lake Michigan water. So some of the best water in the world, fresh coming out of Lake Michigan, makes some of the best beer in the world. So this is Cross of Gold was branded a little bit differently than the rest, but we brought it in line with Fist City and Rev Pils and are calling them the City Series now. So
yeah,
we put that together as the combo for you guys to drink today.
And honestly, like after you've sat through our beer pitch here, check out this municipal device. You're going to see it all around town as soon as we're looking out again. It's like freaky.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So the public library logo, it uses that municipal device at the center of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's actually city ordinance that says any vehicle is supposed to use this. Anything like it's a pretty broad thing, and it's all over the place. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. So if you're looking for a new tattoo, not a bad idea. You include Rev on there, maybe we'll kick you back a case. But let's get to the third round of Tifo, Maggie. Who's up? We've seen some really cool stuff so far.
You got to stop sharing your screen, John.
Yes, I should, but it's such a good design.
I know, it looks good.
She's gorgeous. We actually should make Tifo that are just the designs for these three beers.
I mean, we wouldn't.
It's an idea.
We wouldn't put a cease and desist in front of that.
Hate that. Cool. Yeah. First up in round 3, we have Stef.
So there's a lot of people on here and I'm a little bit nervous. So we're going to do a shot.
Ooh, Jepson's bourbon.
Ooh, you know what? I will actually join you. I have a tiny, it's going in the background. It's a tiny Malort.
All right, let's do it, Meg.
All right, 1 second. Oof, this Malort bottle is from Yuki's concert.
Oh, that was the best night.
It was the best night. It really was. All right, I'm trying not to get any of this on my laptop. All right, ready?
Cheers.
No one can drink Malort alone. Yep. Still Malort.
The bourbon's better. So Steve from the 134 on the Slack did a whole planetarium presentation that unfortunately I missed because my mother called me. So I took that idea and I ran with it. My concept was 4th star to the right and straight on to glory. So what I did was I took some of the coloring pages that were put up from the My Kind of content, and I created constellations. So here is my broad view of the Tifo. It's a very 5th through 7th grade science fair project. And it starts in the middle. With we are all creatures of the stars and their forces. They make us, we make them. We are a part of a dance from which we by no means and not ever may consider ourselves separate. And then we've got the Earth's constellation. We have the short. I actually had to do this one by hand, so I'm sorry, because you're on here, Yuki. This one I did for you. I actually had to hand that one, so it was very difficult. And then we've got Alyssa down here. And each of the stars are 4 stars and are represented in the poem. And I actually tried to do this transfer paper with parchment paper and a homemade printer, and it didn't work. So if anybody would like, I do have a t-shirt that has the Earth's constellation on it. So that is my Tifo.
Question.
It's a really clever idea.
Can we call it the constellation? Yes. That was my question.
Oh, we can, yes.
Good.
Legitimately, we might have to get those designs for shirts. Would people buy those shirts?
Those are cool.
Tell us in the chat if you would buy those shirts.
Second question. Would you sell them as SHERTZ?
Oh my God.
You have to get the player's permission.
Julie, you're here.
And the artist permission for the ones that I stole.
That's great. I'm very pleased with the potential for us to make money off of your design here, Stef.
Well, maybe you should. Who's up next? Not violating personal copyright.
Marilyn.
Okay, hold on. I'm here. So I'm bad at drawing, and so I went a slightly more 3D route and made a pillow for my Tifo. It's made of a red towel and some scrap blue cloth, and then the inside is stuffed with more red towel and a couple shirts. So that's what I did. I don't know. Can everyone see it?
I dig it.
It's very nice.
How long did it take you to sew that? Take me like 4 weeks.
No, it's a pretty, I can zoom a bit closer. It's a pretty rough applique. So that took maybe 2 hours to get all the letters on. Sewing it maybe an hour, and then another half an hour to stuff it.
Not bad.
So,
yeah, nice.
Regular hours, so.
It's gorgeous.
Time.
Well done. All right, who's up next?
Let's see. Alexis and Haley.
All right, hi everybody. This is our Tifo. We wanted to pay homage to the new Chicago Red Stars kit and all the neighborhoods of Chicago, just to show that there are Red Stars and Red Stars fans all around the city. We used a little bit of a couple of toys that we have at home, so it's got some movement and lights to it. So over here we have a little Red Stars player. Maybe it's one of our new signings like Kealia Ohai-Watt or maybe Rachel Hill, as they're taking a little tour through the city on their way to the game. So they start up here in Uptown, they stop in Logan Square, maybe they grab a beer at Revolution Brewing, they grab a taco in Pilsen, and then cruise through Inglewood before zooming out here to Bridgeview for the game. So some of the letters and decoration on here are courtesy of the Cross of Gold 15 pack. And then everything else was just stuff that we had around the house.
Pretty cool.
That's very good.
Electrical engineers over there, I guess.
Yeah, there's an Arduino behind it as well.
I'm like mesmerized by that. I like zoned out a little bit watching it go. That's amazing. All right, gotta get our scores in here.
All right, is that everyone who needs to go?
I think we have three more.
Okay.
So Janet.
Hi everyone. This is going to be fun, but I started out trying to do just a small kind of altar this morning. We've got a couple in my house, and it got a little carried away. So I didn't do too well in the practice. So tell me if you can see. I can't see my screen. I can just see.
Down a little bit.
Okay. How's
there
that?
You go.
Okay. I can't see anything on my screen, but here's the corner with our t-shirts and some different kinds of things and programs. And of course, there's Rory and Sarah bobbleheads and lots of different sub areas. I was organizing and reorganizing. We've got some NWSL and 312s, some World Cup mementos. And then of course, I'll have to have this small part. I'm not sure if you can see this one for Yuki and some of the other players. So this was what kind of expanded, become more than what I anticipated when I started.
Excellent. That's a lot of Red Star stuff.
I was gonna say that's impressive.
Honestly, that has the energy of a tailgate. It has the chaotic energy of a tailgate from my perspective. Okay. Angela.
Time. Hello. I'm going to share my screen really quick. My sister is the artistic one of the two of us, so she made our Tifo. They can't see you anymore. Oh, no. Where'd the other one go? There it is. So some of you might know my sister's a restaurant worker and hosts a daily happy hour on Instagram. And so diving into our favorite part of tailgates and Revolution's favorite part of tailgates, I'm sure, is the drinking aspect. So we have got a Go Red Stars here made out of some of our home bar. We've got the Go with a Moscow Mule mug and a G made out of thyme, a little copita filled with probably water, but usually mezcal and tequila. Some beautiful vintage glassware bought from Charles Jolie, Chicago bartender who runs a vintage Instagram. Some Koval whiskey liqueur, or what was it? Walnut liqueur, a bar spoon, some sparkling water, the Revolution Brewing tea. We've got the fist on the koozie and coming in with the tea, a shaker and a muddler. And then you can't really see in this picture. Let me see if I can get there. But the R is a mushroom that is, I didn't know I took a video. But the R is a mushroom that's cut into an R in a glass.
Mushroom martini, baby.
And then an S peel in the other glass. So yeah, that's our basically all of our quarantine has been making up new drinks and her teaching things about drinking to other people. So
sweet.
I love that. I love the mushroom. I feel like the mushroom is my favorite part.
It took her 3 mushrooms, which I've never been prouder of my sister.
It was like such the impossible flotation.
They do float though. You could probably survive just on a bed of mushrooms in the ocean. You can quote me on that. I think the Malort's kicking in.
We've eaten enough mushrooms now that we probably could float.
Wow. Everyone, great job. All right. Okay.
There was
we have a couple more. They're not on our spreadsheet, judges, but Tala, you have one, right? You messaged me.
Hello, everyone. So I created a little shrine with all my Red Stars stuff. So over here I created a little candle and I put my first ever Red Stars sticker on it. The first Red Star stickers I got from the Red Stars. I also included my volunteer badges from when I started from 2017 to 2019. Still didn't get the 2021. And then I think the camera's upside down. Let me fix it, sorry.
No, you're good actually.
Okay. Is this better?
Perfect.
I created a little Chicago Red Stars corner. Used the letters from my little board that I have in my room that usually says good morning. Now the wall says I cut out this little logo from one of my first Red Stars shirts. And over here in the corner, I have my first Red Stars jersey. It's a Jen Hoy jersey because she's one of my favorite players. So this is my little, and then I have my soccer flask over here. Wait. And a little bracelet that says I love soccer. And then last but not least, our World Cup comeback little towel on the bottom. And that's it. Thank you.
Awesome. And for those who don't know Tala's a dedicated Red Stars volunteer. So you'll see her on the field or doing whatever needs to be done on game day. So shout out to Tala for keeping the wheels on this thing. Okay, I think we had one more that you presented in the like the practice round. It was like a poster with the roster on it. You're up if you're still there.
Actually, we've withdrawn our entry. My daughter posted her and she put it on her walls already. So she's gonna bring it. Well,
She's gonna bring it to a game.
If you want, huh?
Oh, bring it in.
You bringing it?
Can you craft one too somewhere?
No, just bring it.
And go ahead and say in that there's anyone else who we missed. I can't imagine having done anything in quarantine that didn't get recognition. So.
All right, can you guys see it? Get it close to the camera.
Sweet.
Every single Red Star.
Yeah, and on the top is our banner from the playoff game last year.
Very nice.
All right, thank you.
Good job.
All right. Did we do it? Is that everyone?
Nope. I don't know if it's gonna show because she's got it green brown. Oh no. So we just moved here almost 2 years ago. So we've been fortunate enough to attend 3 games. And my 5th grader has been sorely disappointed in her winter season being cut short and now her entire spring season being cut off. And we thought this would be a fun activity for her to get some soccer in. So she created this in honor of today's faux binning event while mom and dad enjoy the beers.
She made that in Minecraft, right?
In Minecraft, yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
That's awesome.
That's very cool.
What's her name?
Great.
Amelia.
Amelia. Oh, okay.
Good job, Amelia.
Wait, Amelia. Yeah.
She's shy. She's run away from the camera.
Good job, Amelia. Amelia, you have to come watch a game with us when the games are back.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay. Anyone else? I don't want to leave anyone out.
Oh, hold on.
We ready? All right.
Sounds like we're good.
Yes. Okay.
All right, judges, you got a hard choice to make. There's so much Chicago, so much love.
Truly exceeded my expectations. I made Local 134 promise me that they were going to do it. And I just shouldn't have. I just should have faith in this community because they show up clearly.
Hey, let's why don't, while you guys are making your decision, go ahead and detail the fantastic and amazing and life-changing prizes that will go out to today's winners.
That's a great idea. So truly will change your life. For first place, it is a Chicago Red Stars 2020 away kit jersey. I actually recently learned that kit means like the full shorts and the jersey. So really it's not a kit, it's a jersey. That's the distinction between kit and jersey. But so the 2020 jersey that will be coming out on April 30th. So everyone should jump on that Zoom event as well to see what the jersey design is. But first place will get the jersey. Second place will get one of the Revolution Brewing beer packs.
And that is the full kit. That's the whole City Series
yeah,
kit.
Shorts and jersey.
Yeah.
Fifth City. So it's 2 6-packs of one of Fifth City, one of Revolution Pils, and a 15-pack of Cross of Gold. So that'll keep you stocked up for at least a couple of days, you know. And then third place will be the Chicago Local 134 2020 scarf, which now ironically says no days off. As we all sit in our apartment side game day. But we aren't taking a day off. It is both ironic and very genuine. It's a great design by one of our longtime members and supporters. Yeah, so all three prizes are great.
Have you thought about fundraising to put in some embroidery so it says no, comma, days off?
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
Yeah, I have all of them here. I'll get right on that.
Yeah, Lauren, you can learn it on YouTube. Buy some embroidery floss.
All right. How's the judging going? Do you guys need another minute? I can do some more crowd work. It's been going super good.
Let's see.
Andrew looks very thoughtful in his window, so I feel like it's going to be another minute.
Oh, I think so. I designed a very effective spreadsheet here that gives us a very precise tabulation, and I think we have 1, 2, and 3. Judges, are you here with me? Do you have any, Julia and Andrew? Do you have any final thoughts before we announce?
Andrew, you're on mute.
Muted.
It was really close. I'm just impressed. Like, I like arts and crafts, and I don't think I would have done anything close to what was put up. So, good work.
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody for all the submissions. It was awesome. I took diligent notes. Everybody did a great job. It was so fun seeing all the arts and crafts, the big arts and crafts lady. Yeah, I think we can announce the winners now.
Excellent. All right, well, in third place with an average score of 35.67, we have the infamous Morgan Bryan and Danielle Colaprico. Woo!
Like claps.
Third place, we'll take it. Also, we wanted to remind you that we're giving to whoever wins the signed pair of cleats.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Wait, exciting. Yeah. So you're working your way up to a full kit.
Yeah.
So Morgan and Danny will give you each a scarf. You don't have to split one.
Thanks.
In second place with 37 points even, Brandon Lane / Champagne Supernova. And I don't know if we can get a drum roll or like everyone can unmute themselves and drum roll. Would that be cute?
Is this working?
Does it work? Everyone does it? Not super working. With 37.67 points average, 0.67 points above second place, we have Alexis Puhala and Haley Hart.
Did it tie?
No, they did it together. That was the electric one.
Well done. Well done.
Thanks, everybody.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Also, congratulations to whoever has a giant Lightfoot. That's pretty cool.
Oh, funny.
Yeah, we need to use that for another Tifo.
Want to talk about it? She can make an appearance at first Red Stars game. She's mobile.
That's
awesome.
gorgeous.
Just telling us all to stay home.
We're doing so well at that now. Thank you so much, everyone who submitted. If you could take a good, like a nice photo of your Tifo and send it to chicagolocal134@gmail.com, that would be awesome. Hold on to them. Don't throw them away. Bring them to the next game. We'd love to see them there.
Great. And with that, thank you everyone for making things and spending time like doing things instead of doing what I do and just rewatching Frasier for the 7th time. I believe the next thing we have is Q&A. Arnim, are you ready?
I'm ready. Can you hear me?
Yep.
You hear me?
You look great.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
You have like stage lighting and stuff there?
It's a professional rig. I didn't want to let you guys down.
Good. Looks good.
So, first, it's unreal to see all the love and care and emotion and investment that everyone makes in the Red Stars. It just every time is humbling and remarkable. And so I want to thank everybody that showed up. There's a lot of people. I've been scrolling through as many pages as I can, and it's amazing to see everyone that came out today. So thank you. We badly miss opening day. We wanted to be there, and we'll be doing everything we can to get back as soon as possible. But we're gonna keep rolling with this, and then we'll see a lot of you this coming Thursday for the jersey unveiling. It's gonna be awesome, and I think everybody's gonna love that. Thank you, Revolution, for the ideas and working, so closely and so fast, guys. You should all realize how quickly this came together. It was pretty cool. Local 134, we love you guys, and thanks for all you do. The Tifos were awesome, and thanks again to our staff, the front office, the players, the coaches. I see them lurking out on the windows as well. But thanks everyone for showing up. So I think you'd like to hear from one of our newest Red Stars. And I've heard her name pronounced 3 different ways. And so Kealia, why don't you just confirm for us the proper pronunciation so no one ever messes up again? Can you do that?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. That was actually really good. It's Kealia. But everybody calls me Kay. That's easier. So if you can't pronounce Kealia, Kay works perfectly.
All right, awesome. I think I've been adding that extra E for the last couple months.
There's a lot of vowels in there. There's a lot of vowels.
So you came at a wonderful time. We're going to have a kick-ass season if we can get on the field. But it's a bit strange to show up in Chicago, find a great apartment, and then be trapped there for a couple of months. So you guys hanging in there? Everything going okay?
Yeah, we're hanging in. It's definitely been a weird time, obviously, but we still, love the city. Everything I've seen has been amazing. So we're excited, obviously, to get back on the field.
Great. We have some formal questions that were submitted by all of you and have been carefully curated and handed to Kealia and I. So we're going to ask each other questions back and forth. I'm okay freestyling if something shows up in the chat that anyone wants to throw in here. But we do have a few. We're gonna rip through them and make sure that we get your questions answered. So, Kealia, it's really important that you answer this question correctly. What is your favorite pizza in Chicago?
Oh geez. Okay, I don't want to start this off by offending anyone, but I typically like thin crust pizza, but that's because I haven't had a lot of Chicago deep dish style pizza. But JJ and I, we love pizza. We've had days in Houston where we'll pick like 6 different places and go get a slice and try it from each place. So when I got traded to Chicago, we were so excited for that. We're planning our day for when we can get out and try all the best places. But so far I've only tried Lou Malnati's, which I absolutely love. That's a good one, right? Everybody
Solid.
loves
No,
that?
you're safe with that. It's a safe choice.
Okay. And then the other place I've tried is Robert's. Is it Robert's, like Pizza Co? I'm not sure. It's right by my apartment. But Lou Malnati's is my favorite so far.
Good safe choice. I don't think you're going to get hit with the Cubs Sox question, and frankly, the audience is split on that one too. So don't worry about that. Okay, I think it's your turn.
Okay. So the first question we have is, what do you do in the morning to set yourself up for a successful day?
So is this a game day or just any day?
I think it's just any day.
All right. I'm a nerd, like a lot of the people on this webcast. And so I like to really try and make a list, prioritize it, and in a perfect world, do the hardest things first. But that doesn't always happen, especially in quarantine, where I find that the list just keeps getting rewritten. And not everything's happening at the pace that I'm used to. But, just generally sort of plan your work your plan, and leave a lot of time for fun in there.
Yeah.
If you could go back to little Kealia, 10-year-old Kealia, and tell her to practice a skill, what would that skill be?
That's a good one. I think the biggest thing, I used to love training on my own when I was young with my sisters and with my dad, but I think the biggest thing I would tell my 10-year-old self is to watch more soccer. I think growing up in America, soccer, it wasn't always on television, and I always watched the women's national team, but I think that is my biggest piece of advice. I didn't start watching men's professional soccer until I was in like high school and college. And I think that's huge for your development. So that would be my number one piece of advice.
Cool. Awesome.
Okay, next. What is the biggest signing that almost didn't happen?
So I feel like some of you know this story, but the very complex trade that got Sam Kerr and Nikki moved, Jen Hoy. It had Kristen Press. It had it had a lot of moving parts. That fell apart. I don't know. Rory's on here. He can correct me, but I want to say 6 different times, including moments before the pick was due in the draft, and it was a remarkably complex thing to try and pull off, and very nearly didn't. We are thrilled that we had Sam and Nikki for a couple of years, and we'll remain very close with them. I'm excited as heck about the future and all the many different ways that we have to score and put the ball in the net. So, you know, we'll be fine. I know that's not the question, but we'll be fine. There were some other, we were involved with a lot of big international names in the off season. Some of them look like they're finding their way into the league, but there's some others out there that we'll save for future seasons to reveal to you. What aspects or characteristics of the Red Stars made you excited to join the team? I think we heard a little bit from you, you know, around the signing, but is there anything that you can tell this fan base that that you're excited about for joining the team?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, I was talking to Scott yesterday and I told him this, the biggest thing that made me so excited to sign with the Red Stars was that throughout my whole career with the Dash, the Red Stars are the #1 team I have dreaded playing. I hated playing the Red Stars because it's such a combination of tactical soccer, but also just tough, and a team literally filled with competitors, and it made it so difficult to play. And so I think that's the best compliment you can give a team is literally dreading to play them every year. And even in the short week of preseason that we had, that's something that I noticed in every single training session is if you aren't ready to compete, you're going to be exposed. And so I think that it's very evident why the team performs that way, because it's every single day in practice. And that's the biggest thing I am excited to play on this team for.
Awesome. Yeah, I think we like that Chicago grit.
Exactly. Okay, next. What do you see as the most likely next cities for NWSL expansion whenever the timing is right?
So I won't speak out of school. Lisa Baird might be on here somewhere, so we're gonna be a little bit careful. But you know, I'm never gonna get ahead of the league's news. Yeah, let me answer it in the way that should give you some ideas, right? So we need California, right? There are a couple of cities in California that make a ton of sense, but the number of soccer players in California, the big media markets, the major sponsors, we need to be in California. And I think that there have been various reports about a couple of things that might be going on out there, and we're optimistic about that. I think I always look at, there are some surveys out there. Every time there's a women's national team or even a men's national team broadcast, they rank by city and by metro area the most popular soccer cities. One that I think would be awesome and certainly has pretty good potential is St. Louis. I'd love to have that, you know, I-55 series. We've already got an, you know, I think with Louisville, it's going to be a nice regional competitor as well. And by the way, they've been great. They've been on the board, participating fully all year. They're going to be an incredible team. I think there are other cities that have been speculated and mentioned, but Atlanta and the energy they've put behind their team would be very exciting to see a women's entry there. And then I think that there are some other interesting combinations that could be international clubs or other teams, other strong teams in other sports that have really good operational capability in a city that could make great partners in the league as well. So we're excited about expansion. There's lots going on. The conversation hasn't stopped despite COVID and the quarantine, but we just have to sort of play it out, and we'll let you know as soon as we can about the markets that are coming. When you get overwhelmed, either around the stress of soccer, if that's ever stressful to you, or with the number of changes in your life and quarantine and all that going on, what do you do to unwind? How do you relax?
Yeah, I think that's a good question right now because there's so much going on. I think one thing I try to do every single day is read, even if it's for 10 minutes. I try to read a motivational book or something that's uplifting. I also love mystery books, but I try to balance it out. And so I think for me, reading kind of takes my mind off things and settles me down. I also really try to meditate a lot. I'm not very good at it, and it's really hard for me to stop thinking. But that helps me if I can kind of get into the groove of that. So those are probably the two biggest things.
Okay, cool.
Okay. What is one of your favorite Red Star memories?
So I'm going to give you two. The one is a little easier. That whole championship weekend last year in North Carolina, minus the game. So take the game out. But right up until the game started, and the entire weekend with Local 134, all the fans that traveled, people we didn't know even followed us, showed up at the tailgate and at various bars and restaurants over that weekend. This is a hard sport to make work financially. And it's been for our family and a lot of the people around the team, the front office, the coaches, et cetera, it's been 12 years of really working to make this a permanent and sustainable thing. And to see the outpouring of support and just the commonality of what we all care about, that weekend in North Carolina was really amazing. And I remember there was a little hole in the wall bar. I don't know how, Maggie, I don't know how you guys found it, but we all shared a few shots, and it was a really nice moment. But I want to go back to one that not as many people are aware of. We were in 2012. We had two competitions going on. We had the WPSL Elite season, which we made the final game, lost in overtime, and that was not a great memory. But the Open Cup game, which was one of the last years that we've participated in the Open Cup, we actually got lucky and were able to play the Open Cup final game at Toyota Park. I don't think there were any fans there, but we were down to a New York club. I don't remember the name, but we were down to a New York club at half pretty badly. I mean, we were not playing well, and it was just disheartening. And Amanda Sonali, who was a great player, might be out there listening, but Amanda Sonali and some other players on the team just took over the second half. We came down, I think we were down maybe 2 goals at half, but we came back and we won the first national championship for the club at Toyota Park in Chicago. Rory was coaching for free that year, for a couple of years actually, but for free that year. And it was a remarkable moment for the club after almost disappearing and finding our way back. It was a great moment. So that's a great memory for me. This is an interesting one. So in the league, who are you most relieved or excited now to play with rather than against?
That one is actually, easy for me. That is definitely Casey Short. I am a winger, obviously, and I play on the left side, typically I did with the dash. And so that was pretty much a 1v1 with Casey Short for 90 minutes. And I think if anybody's watched her play, that's not very much fun. And so I remember when I got traded here, I thought about that all the time. I thought, I am so excited to play with her and not have to chase her down the sideline all game long. She's incredible. She's definitely one of the best outside backs in the world. So that one's easy for me.
And an awesome person, as you know.
Yes, she is. She's amazing. Okay. Let's see. Okay, what is one thing that you'd like every person in Chicago to know about the Red Stars?
Yeah, this one's actually easy. If I could put it on every radio show, newspaper, billboard, et cetera, it would be that we are the best, by far, pro team in Chicago. There is no other sports team in Chicago that has gone to 5 straight semifinals in the toughest league in the world. Full stop. And we're doing it with some of the most amazing athletes in the world. It's just so hard to get that message out there. I think when people come and try it, they know immediately what they've discovered. But I won't do a long-winded speech here, but the difficulty in getting coverage where there are 8 other pro sports teams in Chicago it's real, and it's taken a lot of hand-to-hand combat, grassroots discussions, and we really broke through last year. It was a remarkable thing. And that's part of why it hurts so much that we're not playing today, because we were set up and the city was really starting to surge behind us, and it's very special. They'll be back, but we need more people to know the quality of what we're doing here.
Mm-hmm.
What's the most important thing you did to become a professional soccer player? This is asked by a U11 boys player. I'd love to know your answer.
Let me think about that. I think this answer is going to be pretty cliche, but I think that the biggest thing, you have to believe in yourself, and you have to truly believe that you are the best at what you do. I think that if you look at kids as they go through youth programs, high school, college, they have so many coaches, so many teams, so many rosters, and there are coaches that tell you you're never going to make it. There are teams you're never going to start on. There are teammates that tell you suck, and it's just, you are the only person that is truly with you through your entire career. And so if you don't have that self-belief, the first person that tells you you're not going to make it, you'll be done. And so I think that is the most basic number one thing that you need. And I always tell young girls that ask me that, and it's easy to say, but you have to believe in yourself, and among other things, but that is a non-negotiable to become a professional player.
Awesome.
Okay. Ooh, this is a good one. Okay. The Red Stars seem to be able to very quickly shift from just, we're running a season of soccer, to making some of the very best quarantine content on Twitter. What was the process behind that shift?
Yeah, so this one's actually pretty easy. We're not a bunch of corporate stiffs who work, who just go to work and do their thing. We're bigger fans than you, maybe not you, but some of the players. We love this team. We love women's soccer to a person. Nobody comes to work for women's soccer unless they really care sort of beyond the job. So when the season looked threatened, it was a pretty easy thing for us to be in touch with what the fans are feeling and what their needs are and how hard it is to replace that which we love. And so it was a couple of us literally over a weekend, right when it was clear just how big COVID was going to be and how much of a threat it was to the way we live our lives, that we came up with a couple of things that seemed like no-brainers. We shifted immediately to, you know, being all in for the fans and what they need at every level. Children through the after-hours stuff that Lindsay's been running. And once we sort of got the framework, everybody has been contributing, everybody in the front office. I don't know if you saw, there's so many great things. I don't want to, you know, mention just one, but I saw the Supernova adventure that our intern did this. I mean, it's just, it's hilarious. Playing with his old toys in his house during quarantine, it was awesome. But, you know, everything that people have been contributing, the players you're going to hear a lot more player content going forward. It's, we're all in on this. We all love the same thing. And it's very easy to just refocus on what you can do to survive this. But we're thankful for all of you and for the support we're getting along the way. It helps us a lot. Thank you.
Yeah. The Twitter has been awesome.
Thanks. So you have a bit of free time on your hands right now. What have you been doing with your free time? And are there any shows that you and your quarantine partner, I think his name's JJ or something, what shows are you guys watching?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge I've had this quarantine is that my favorite thing to do in my free time is bake, and I have a horrible sweet tooth, and so I have been baking pretty much every day. The first time I baked, it was right when practice had been canceled right at the beginning, and JJ wasn't with me at the time, and I made these chocolate chip cookies that I make all the time, and it makes about 12 to 13 cookies, and I left them out on the stove, and I was doing my stuff all day, walking around the apartment, and I looked at the end of the day, and 9 of the cookies were gone, and I was the only person in the apartment that entire day. And so that's got a problem for me. I have been baking so much. And the show that we've been most into is the Great British Bake Off. Have you ever seen it?
Yeah. Oh, it's awesome. It's incredible.
Yeah, we had never seen it or even really heard of it. And so we started that. We've watched all those seasons. And then I am a huge Office fan. I've seen The Office like 9 times through. So that's always on in the background when I'm doing stuff.
So no one asked me this, but my daughter in particular pushed us to try the 100, which I'd never heard of. And I'm absolutely hooked. It's remarkable. It's an incredible show that I actually think a lot of people would like. Maggie, what?
What kind of show is it? What is it about?
Nothing. I just know that there's a lot of local 134 members who are into the 100.
Yeah, no, it's I had low expectations and got hooked immediately. But so we've been grooving on that and a bunch of stuff, but that wasn't my question, so I'm not going to.
Okay, we got one here. Okay, during the off season, we saw Seattle form a connection with Lyon from the French League. Do you think there will be future transatlantic alliances between women's soccer clubs in the UK and France and the United States?
So yes, but I'm going to broaden it a little bit. I actually think most of the sports, most of the men's sports are played out. Is there more growth? Yeah, maybe, but not a ton in terms of new markets, new opportunities. So I really think that when the world begins to focus on women's sports and women's soccer especially, it's different and it's global and we're already dominant in the world. So I think as people begin to realize that the opportunities, not only there's an obligation to do more than they've done at the networks and at other clubs to invest in women's sports, but the opportunity is amazing. And so we will see, and there are dialogues all over the place with other clubs around the world, not necessarily European, some Asian. If this is the top league in the world, and it is, and I don't really care how the rest of the people feel about it. It is, especially when you see how many internationals are coming and will continue to come play here. If this is the top league in the world, you have to think of it like the EPL for men. Everybody in the world will see the growth and potential in U.S. women's professional soccer. And whether you're a soccer club or you're maybe in some markets, it might be that you have a strong NFL franchise or MLB franchise. And you think that it's the perfect complement and another way to extend the capability you have in, your ticket selling and other sports operations. So I believe we'll see a lot of different interesting folks investing in the league. And I think we're healthier for it. We're healthier as a diverse group of owners, not just MLS, not just soccer, certainly not just independents. But I think we're going to see a lot more of that. Do you have a single favorite soccer memory that you can think of?
I think that's a hard one. I think probably one of my most favorite soccer memories would have to be when we won the Under-20 World Cup. It was such a unique experience because we were so young and we were in college, training, traveling to Japan for months at a time. Julie, Morgan, and Vanessa were all on my Under-20 team, and yeah, it was an amazing team, and we were so close. And it was a difficult. I actually talked with Scott about this yesterday too, but it was a difficult tournament. We lost to Germany 3-0 earlier in the tournament, so winning that was just, it meant so much, and I would have to say that is my best soccer memory.
It's got to be incredible.
Yeah. Okay. Is there anything fans can do to support the team at its future during this time?
Yes, and we do need you. But this is part of it. Staying connected, continuing to support sponsors that care about us. We do have a new jersey coming out. It's very helpful. That is the only revenue we have potentially coming in. If it's within your means right now financially, yes, it's helpful to buy a jersey. That is the income that we use to pay the staff and players and, keep things together. But, mostly I think we need to stay connected. We need to support each other. And it's probably the least used part of what we were trying to do with the initial, change to our social media is we need to know who out there is hurting. I know a couple of you are, and I've seen some social media tweets, but if you need help, reach out, and this community will support you. But we'll continue to fight to get back on the field as long as the health and safety allows us to do that. And we'll continue to make sure we get information out to people as quickly as we have it. But your support means a great deal to all of us and to the players. And so we thank you for all that you've done, to continue to support us. Thank you. It's kind of a throwaway question. Does this question from Emily Boyd? Emily, you're out there. Does Kealia miss sitting next to me in the locker room?
Emily, yes, I do miss seeing your beautiful face every single day. Emily actually was my first new friend on the team. She's so sweet, and she made me feel right at home when I came in the locker room. So yes, love you, miss you, and I cannot wait to see you.
Great. I think I'm supposed to throw it back to John. Head nod, John, but yeah, okay. But anything else you want to add, Kealia? Any other thoughts or things that we've missed?
I just wanted to say hello to everyone. I wish I was seeing you guys out on the field today, but this is the coolest thing I've seen. This was so incredibly organized and awesome, and thank you for letting me be a part of it, and I can't wait to see you guys on the field very soon.
Thank you, Kealia. Thanks also to, again, all the players, coaches, staff I see out there, and without other things you want me to do, John, throwing it back to you.
No, I know that there are some, like you said, some players, people who've joined us. I'm going to throw it to Lindsay right now, and she's going to let a bunch of very special players say hi.
Actually, John, real quick, before we go to the players, can we do a quick shout out to Southside Trap Podcast?
Do it.
Claire and or Sandra, either of you, both of you, can you hop in real quick and rep the podcast? Let us know what we can expect from the #1 Chicago Red Stars podcast.
Wow, the #1 Chicago Red Stars podcast. Yes, I too would refer to us as that. Absolutely, 100%. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your girl, Sandra. This was really cool. It was really dope to see everybody. There's a ton of people in here. And we're really looking forward to being with everybody and producing Chicago Red Stars content for everyone. I know everyone's been locked down for a long time here in the city and out in the country. But I know for us in Illinois, thinking about sort of when the quarantine happened and stuff like that, they're going back into March, like right around March 16th. And just an example of what we do for Southside Trap when we cover the Red Stars, we do it on a consistent basis all the time, 100%, 24/7, around the clock. So we love us some gosh darn Red Stars. And since then, we've had like a number of podcast episodes, a number of written posts for everybody to take a look at. You're even talking about going deeper into the off season when Local 134 went ahead and did that great concert event with Yuki Nagasato. We covered that as well. So we're just trying to do our best like everyone else and be here for everybody. And for all the friends, homie, and colleagues out there who rep Scam Gang, we appreciate you. And keep supporting your Chicago Red Stars. Please keep supporting Southside Trap Podcast. You can do that on all social media channels, on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. If you still use that for some reason, we're there too. And you can find us on our Patreon. Your support is going to help us out tremendously during this time.
Yes, I am also here. I'm going to jump in real quick.
Hey,
yeah, I'm here. Two things. First things first. Hi, everybody. This was amazing. And then also, not only have we been trying to keep up with some kind of up-to-date Red Stars coverage, but we've been doing a very specific rewatch look back on the Red Stars. We're doing a Days of Red Stars Past series, which we went way, way, way back. We went to the first Red Stars game that was ever played in the NWSL, 2013. We went through 2014. We've been through 2015 now. We've been doing a lot of content, just kind of looking back, giving some of these eras the coverage that it deserves when it maybe wasn't getting it at the time. But the other thing I want to do real quick is, so I have my Revolution beers, but it's because Lauren brought them to my place yesterday, and she also dropped off these, can you see it? Can you see it? The pins. Oh, no, it fell. So these are the ones that you get if you are a Southside Trap patron and a member of Local 134. It says no one can do anything alone, which is one of the many amazing things that Sandra says on every episode. And we are happy we will continue to bring content to you guys. We're going to be talking Red Stars, both past and present and future, for many weeks to come. So please join the family, and join the Patreon. And we're going to get these. I don't know when we're going to get these to you, but we're going to get them to you, and they're beautiful. And this is a wonderful community. So
they're going to be clean and sanitized and everything. You're going to get them
shiny.
And they're shiny, and they're so much fun to wear. And we appreciate everybody's support, and keep supporting the Chicago Red Stars and Southside Trap Podcast. You know, we're so lucky to cover the team that we cover. It's a team with a very long history, and we're very fortunate that during this time, this team has that sort of history, and we're able to dive back as deep as we are to go ahead and cover them. Could you imagine if this you didn't have as long a history as they had, what would we be talking about?
We would have nothing to talk about.
Oh, we're out there. We're out there. In those Red Stars streets.
Anyway, we can't wait to be crying in the club with you guys again soon. We love hanging, but we'll keep talking. We'll keep talking Red Stars in the meantime. So, and thanks to Maggie for letting us do a shout out here, because just part of the family.
Yeah, we love you guys. Everyone become a patron. We need this. We need this local coverage.
So you did just say that we're the oldest and winningest women's pro soccer club in the
Correct.
history,
I did
history
say
of
that.
the U.S. So
Yes.
well done.
Yes.
I appreciate that.
You did say that you're old. Correct.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Old. I got it.
Yeah.
All right, Lindsay, you ready to roll us on to the next thing?
I sure am. Hi, guys. I'm Lindsay. For those of you who don't know me, I am the Director of Marketing and Communications for the Red Stars. This is my first season. What a season to join. But I'm really excited to be here, and we have a lot of special guests on this call. I didn't scroll through all the pages, so hopefully they're still here, but they wanted to say hello and thank you for supporting us. So Alyssa Mautz, if you're on the line, would you like to unmute yourself and say hi?
Hi, everyone. It's been awesome to be on here and to see so many people supporting us. Hi, teammates. But yeah, I just wanted to say hi to everyone and thank you for, supporting us still through this time. And hopefully we're back on the field soon.
Thanks, Alyssa. Michele Vasconcelos, if you're on here, want to unmute yourself?
Hey, this has been so cool to see all of you guys and see the thinking community, but even family that's been created here. And I know it's a weird year, but it's kind of cool that we get to do this with you guys, and hopefully we can kind of collaborate more on events and be able to connect with you guys more. I'm almost getting cleared from my ACL, so I'm so excited to get on the field again and play in front of all you guys. Thank you. We love you guys.
Thanks, Michele. Hannah Davison, you there? She might have had to drop. Alyssa Naeher, are you present?
Yep, I'm here. I just wanted to say hello to everybody and thank you all for continuing to support us as we wait to start our season. This is very unique. We don't normally get to tailgate with you guys and then share a beer, so this was kind of cool and kind of fun. So just thank you guys very much for all your continued support, and stay safe, and we look forward to being back on the field with you guys soon.
Thank you, Alyssa. Any other players on who I didn't call out that would like to say hello? Now is your chance, so feel free to unmute yourself and say hi. And if not, I think we can pass it off for a final cheers.
Hi guys, this is Hannah Davison. Just wanted to say thank you so much. This was so cool to see, and all your guys' things that you created are just amazing. So we appreciate your support so much, and this is really fun to be a part of.
Thank you, Hannah.
Lindsay, did you want to just mention what's going on Thursday, just for some that might not know?
Yeah, for sure. I've seen some questions in the chat, so hopefully we have answered everyone's questions. But Thursday, the 30th, is the New Jersey reveal, as has been mentioned a couple times here. If you're looking to RSVP, the link is available on all of our social channels. Sorry if you hear my crying daughter in the background. So please be sure to RSVP. We are at over half of our capacity already, which is amazing because we announced this like 48 hours ago. So get in quick, but if you don't get in, don't worry. We will be streaming in other places as well. You won't be left out. And as Arnim mentioned, this is one of the best opportunities to support us at this time. So if you are in a situation where you're financially able to purchase a kit, we would greatly appreciate it.
Great. Sounds good. Marty, Andrew, you guys still around?
I'm here. I'm here too.
All right. Well, I won't speak for the entire brewery. You guys can do that too. But wanted to say thank you to the Red Stars, Local 134. This has been just an amazing experience. I mean, the community, the Chicago spirit has been unreal. So
cheers.
Yeah, from us to all of you, cheers, and we're looking forward to the season whenever that is.
We'll be there in the parking lot with you for sure.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
Looking forward to it. It's gonna happen, guys. We're gonna be there.
Hey, Marty, what was the right order to drink the 3 beers? I just need to know.
Thanks. Yeah, there's no order, obviously. I would go Pils, or maybe a Pils, Fist City. But yeah, these beers are all pretty different. They look pretty similar. But all these are year-round beers that you can bring to any tailgate. Yeah, we're so happy to be able to partake in this. Thanks so much.
Rev, do you want to announce how many beer packs we've sold?
Oh my God!
So I'm sorry to call you out, but I feel like it's exciting.
It was super exciting. So we've done a bunch of combos. We've done like special beers, nerd beers, all this stuff. This combo blew everything else out. We sold 102 combos of the local 134 Red Stars combo, and that means that 100. I mean, some people picked up some for other people or whatever, but 100 people made their way to the brewery, picked this beer up. You know, for us, honestly, same support to the Red Stars, like the support that you guys have shown Revolution, all of our employees, our brewers, Marty and his team. It's a tough time for us too. And, you know, we're excited and glad that we're able to keep producing beer and putting it out in the world for you guys to have your 3 o'clock happy hours, or your morning beer, whichever one. But it really meant a lot to support this team and the organization of Local 134 and to feel the love back from you guys. Super awesome. We're excited to continue.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, for us, it's so exciting to have a local beer partnership. Obviously, we're a big fan of Budweiser, who sponsor the league, but Chicago's a local team with a local identity, and having Rev here today and being partnered with Revolution we couldn't be prouder. So we're so excited that you know our community showed up for you, and we hope to continue doing so throughout the next few months. So and indefinitely.
For Maggie and the Revolution crew, there is a question if the pack will still be available for a few days, or how you guys handling that.
You know what? I'm making an executive decision right now that it'll be available through Friday. So grab your packs for the Thursday kit release. I'm super excited. I just stuffed some money under the mattress so that I could get it. But yeah, we'll keep it running through Friday so that we can all drink some of these beers for the kit release.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Great. Well, there's nothing left. Let's everybody raise their beers, say cheers, and here's to the season, whenever that may be.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Everybody, cheers.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.